Okay people, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be continuing the E30 build. As you can see, I have a board with a bunch of stuff to get done, so it's easier. So today we're going to be focusing on electrical. So there's not that many wires in this engine bay right now, but we got to start wiring some things. What I want to get wired up is this body harness. So this fuse block right here gets power from this wire right here, so I can easily connect it to here using this factory fitting, but we're gonna make it look a little bit neat. What I have laid out here is just some electrical things like shrink wrap. I got some wire loom, some terminal connectors, and hardware, some solder, and most importantly, wire. So I'm gonna go disconnect this battery. Once I get that disconnected, I'll tell you what we'll be doing. So I'm gonna keep this point here and get a terminal that can distribute other wires where it needs to go. Like I'll need one to go to this, one to go to that, and then another one I'll probably run in here for the ECU. This wire right here for this fuse box, instead of just running it straight like that, I don't think that'll be a good look. So what I'm gonna do is cut it, get this wire, which looks a little bit better. This is 4-gauge OFC, or audio wire. As you can see that by the silver color that it's OFC. So we don't need that much wire, so I'll cut it, and it looks like it's 2 wires, so I'll cut it right about here. Yep. That much. Okay, so what we're gonna do is connect these 2 wires just like that. Now, there's a couple different ways that we can connect it. So being that it's a 4-gauge wire, you can't use this. A tool like this you can't use, being that the wire is so big. This is only good up to 10 gauge. I think I lost my tool. This is what the tool looks like. So I can't find the tool, but so what I'm gonna do instead is use some heat to connect it. Now with this audio wire, it's so flexible. You can just take a razor, twist. There you go. So what I'm gonna do is take this wire, combine it, wrap it around with the other wire to get a strong mechanical joint. And then I'm gonna use this. We're gonna heat up the wire. We're gonna heat this. We're gonna heat up the wire and take some solder and until you get a strong connection. This isn't the most ideal way to do it, but I need to get this done. So let's go. Oh, and this is all the engine stuff. I'll be starting the engine build soon. I'm waiting on another dial bore. I have this one. It reads down to 5/10,000s, but I ordered another one that reads to the 10,000s. So I'm gonna wait till that is running late in the mail. But once that comes in, we'll start all this, and I'll document how to build the S52. Okay, so I did a pretty bad job. I don't know. That was my first time using heat and solder like that, so it's holding though. But it's gonna be resting here, so it shouldn't see too much strain. But once I got that done, I took some 3M tape, 3M vinyl tape, and I wrapped it around here just to get a nice good seal, but that's not good enough. So what we're gonna do is we could use heat shrink, but instead of heat shrink, we're gonna use this. This is called Tessa tape. A lot of European cars use this from the factory. It's like a, I don't know. It's like a cloth. It's like a really tough type of fabric. So I'm gonna use that on top of this electrical tape. What we're gonna do is clean this off from any oil from my fingers, wrap some of this around it, and it should be good. So now we're gonna leave this just like that as an open lead, which means there's no connector or nothing. It's just exposed wire. And I'm gonna tell you why we're gonna leave that as an open lead. We're gonna be using some distribution blocks. Pick these up on Amazon. There's a positive and a negative. They're engraved on there, and the difference is that the positive terminal is going to be a little bit bigger in diameter. The inside diameter over here is going to be a little bit bigger than the negative. So you can't use the negative on that terminal post because that's positive. You could take a little flathead, pry over here and open it up a little bit, but we already have this. And the good thing is this comes with a plastic cover because it's all metal around here. It's not bare metal, but just to be on the safe side. So the goal is to have it sit like that, and then there's the factory, this little factory bracket, which is going to secure this wire, and boom. The reason I have it as an open lead is because the wire could go directly into this little distribution block. You just use a hex head, tighten it down, and clamp the wire in there. Before we start connecting wires, I want to make it a little pretty. So this is protected and all, but we have some wire loom. Now, since I have a whole roll, I might as well use it and make this wire look pretty. So I have this type of wire loom. Now this type you can't just open it up and put it inside the wire. This you have to have an open end and slide it in. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Let's get that to size. We'll end it over here since this is going to be covering all of this. This end doesn't have to be pretty, but this end you'll see. So this end, that end needs to be pretty. So right here is about good. Get a nice clean cut. And what I like to do is sometimes the ends will fray, so I'll give it a little bit of heat. Okay. So now you're probably thinking, how is this wire gonna fit in this skinny wire loom? So what you have to do, well, I don't know. This one might be. So what you do is you pinch it. When you pinch it, this will expand and give you room. So let's get it started. Usually when you start it up, it's a little messy. Just like that. And it's too short. I mean, it's too short for my liking. Let's see what this is here. Yeah, I mean, so for this we'll be using heat shrink. Yes, this is a little too small, so let's get another one. Good thing this is cheap and it's abundant. Why does this still look short? So this end, we're gonna use this, not the Tessa tape, but I'm gonna use vinyl tape. And make sure to keep everything tight when you tape this. Just like that. Now this guy, you're gonna slide over. Have it end right here. This is rubber, so that's not ideal. That might melt. Now, just give it some heat. Now when you're doing this too, I usually mess it up, but try your best not to burn this, especially this being such of a big thing. One thing I did make sure to order, if you're refreshing an engine bay for like, I think this was $6-7. It's just a bunch of hardware. Flange stainless steel nuts. This, I think this is for this, but I don't think this is metal. I don't know how it'll conduct to that. This feels like plastic. Yeah, that's not metal, so I really don't know what this is for. All I did was splice the harness. I don't know nothing about BMW. But yeah, look at that. And then once you get this on, boom, and see how the plastic shields it from really touching anything. I like that. What I wanted to do is to confirm that this wasn't a ground, because it kind of looks like a ground. Once again, everything is disconnected the battery, so you can do whatever we want here. But most likely it is power, but I wanted to confirm it, so I brought out the multimeter. So what I'm gonna do is check for resistance or most likely continuity. This is the automatic one. It automatically figures out if you're reading voltage, impedance, continuity, whatever. But if you don't have an automatic one, which I recommend not getting this, I recommend, I don't even have it, I'm missing everything. But what you're gonna do on your multimeter, what I would do is put it to continuity, which that is gonna look like this. And the way you could test this is just by touching the two terminals together, or the two leads, and you'll hear a beep. Sometimes it'll read resistance. That's why I don't like this one. But sometimes it'll read resistance. But we're gonna verify that. So what I'm gonna do is gonna see if it's on ground. So we're gonna take one lead, put it on here, and make sure not to, just in general, you don't want your fingers touching any of the metal because it could affect the reading. So we're just gonna have it like that. And we're gonna find a ground, so you could use post. Make sure it's bare metal too. So what I like to do is I like to do a little scratch, but nothing. You could also use, what I usually do too, is use AC lines. If I have to jump a car and I can't find a good ground or something, it's not the best ground, but AC lines. The best one is usually the strut studs, the strut mount. Nothing. Let's see what else. I just painted everything, so it's hard to find the ground. Okay, so now let's see if it has continuity. If I touch this terminal. So that right there confirms that this is going to be part of, this is going to connect to this and be part of the positive on this circuit. So let me go ahead. I'm going to loom this wire, same thing as I did with this one. I'm going to extend it a little bit. I have some extra wire here. Okay people, so the secondary wire, this other little wire, I have it all mounted. Just gotta cut that, cut the shielding, and it should be ready to go. So this section is good. Next, we're gonna focus on the fuse block. So this, I'm pretty sure is for the wipers. So what I'm gonna do is channel this wire inside of here. As I said, run it, and we're gonna drill a hole. But there's also another wire that I want to address, and that is our starter wire. So here's a roll. I'm gonna use this for the starter. All you need is just a straight connection right to it. So this is good, and I already had it crimped from before. So what we're gonna do is just put an actual, what's it called, heat shrink. We're gonna put some heat shrink on that. Alright, so this is our new starter wire. So what I'm gonna do, the starter sits right around this area. So I'm gonna just feed all the wires in, drill a hole. This over here. This isn't the prettiest process. Okay. See how here's this piece of tape. I'm gonna overlap it like halfway, just because this tape likes to stick to itself. If I go straight onto the wire harness, it's not gonna really want to stay. This part, this little sharp bend is gonna fight me on that, I know it. But it's fine. Is that overkill? It's only two 4-gauge wires. So this might be overkill. This actually is overkill. So I'm gonna start with a smaller drill bit. This is a cobalt bit, so it's harder. Do the pilot hole, and then we'll go to the step drill bit. So I'm putting some self-etching primer on a Q-tip, and then I'm putting it on the bare metal. Okay, what I'm also gonna do, it's not necessary because it usually makes a mess, but here's some anti-seize. I'm just gonna run it on the perimeter just to double, ensure that there's really going to be no rust. So this was a tight fit. Cut a little hole out. I have the wire. I ran through this grommet. I did that off camera because it took forever. Grommet is in. I got anti-seize all over, but that's fine. Now we're gonna try to fit this in here. Actually, let's run the wire first. That's what we should do. There we go. That's fine. Okay, so the wire is ran through. What I'm gonna do is put some more wire loom, and then we'll start connecting everything to the terminal blocks. And boom. Okay, one wire down, 2 more to go. Okay guys, that's pretty much all we have for today's video. We did a whole bunch from adding new wire for the starter, looming all the wire, running it through the firewall and making it look pretty, adding an aftermarket terminal to the existing terminal post, and it was quite time consuming, but these are the little details that's going to make this car stand out. Tomorrow I'm going to try to get this video edited and uploaded, and then we're going to start doing the brakes on this. I'll be retrofitting the E92 brake system into this car, and I'll go step by step through it, but that's all I have for now, guys.